Hey guys, it's Benedictine's the truth. Kevnet just sent me a video a couple of hours ago. You should check his YouTube channel. It has interesting stuff. You should check his YouTube channel. He sent me a video of this lady saying that her parents are saying she should not get a tattoo because tattoos are expensive. Tattoos are permanent. Tattoos are addictive. She's gonna wanna get another one and another one and another one. But they're also saying she should have children. It doesn't matter if children are expensive. She should have children. It doesn't matter if children are permanent. She should have children. You see the problem? Humans are hypocrites. I was having a conversation yesterday with this other guy. We're chilling together. He stays where I stay, so we're just chilling. He was telling me, yo man, my girlfriend doesn't seem to really care about me. When I call her and say come through, she doesn't seem to want to come through. She says she's busy, she doesn't have money, she's sick, she's tired, it's hot, it's cold. She always makes excuses. It seems like she doesn't care about me. And I was like, dude, she doesn't care about you. When women love you, trust me, she'll want to be with you even when she's sick. Understand? Because she feels really good when she's with you. She feels good when she's around you. See, if she loves you, she's gonna feel good around you. So she's gonna want to be with you. She's not gonna mind if it's hot. If she doesn't have money, she's gonna borrow money and she will come through. She's not gonna make up excuses. If humans don't want something, they will make up excuses. You see? Her parents didn't want her to have a tattoo, so they came up with excuses. But they wanted her to have children, so those excuses cannot apply because they wanted her to have children. But children are really expensive, more expensive than tattoos, you know, because you constantly have to take care of them. And they're permanent. That's another thing. Like tattoos are actually permanent. So that's the thing. Human beings are hypocrites. They will find excuses not to do what they do not want to do. They'll find excuses not to believe what they do not want to believe. They'll find excuses not to allow what they do not want to allow. When I was a kid, I was very stubborn and I'll always be fighting with other kids. I was very stubborn. So I'll find myself fighting with other kids. When other kids would try to bully me, I would not allow them to bully me, so I would fight back. But sometimes I was just stubborn, and yeah, that's why I would fight with other kids. My mom would always defend me without knowing the full story. If she finds me fighting with another kid, she would defend me. And she would say something like, oh, you always want to bully my kid. You know what I mean? Like she'll make the other kid feel bad because she's my mom. She'll always take my side. And I will tell her when we get home that, Mom, Just because I'm your son doesn't mean that I'm always right. You shouldn't be a hypocrite. We're kids. Kids can be wrong. You cannot defend me without knowing the full story. Yes, sometimes it does happen that I find myself fighting with another kid because I'm trying to protect myself because, kids will bully you. That happens. But don't assume that I'm always right. I have fought with other kids because I was the one who was actually wrong. That is possible. That can happen. So you must try to figure out what really happened first. That is important. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't defend me no matter what just because I'm your child. I know people who hate some people because they're selfish. Because they are conceited. Because they're self-centered. Who love people who are selfish, self-centered, and conceited. No, they'll say, I hate that person because that person is selfish, that person is conceited, that person is self-centered. But then they love a person who's conceited, self-centered. Human beings are hypocrites. That's something that you must understand. Humans don't care about the truth. Humans don't care about facts. They care about how they feel. Her parents don't like tattoos, right? They don't like tattoos. So they will have to talk about what will make her not want to have a tattoo. Tattoos are expensive. And that's the reason why we don't want you to have a tattoo. Tattoos are expensive. So you shouldn't want to have a tattoo because tattoos are expensive. Tattoos are permanent. You see? But they want grandchildren, so they don't bring that up. They don't say, well, children are expensive. Children are permanent. No, they don't bring that up. Human beings are hypocrites. If people don't like you, don't assume it's just your behavior. Like, oh, it's how I behave. There are people who behave the way that you behave, but they like these people. Let me give you this example. If you compliment a girl on her looks, yo, you're so beautiful, and you're smiling. If she doesn't like you, she's gonna think you're a creep. But if she likes you, if you're cute and she likes you, she's gonna smile and say thank you. The difference between you being smooth and being a creep is your level of attractiveness. You see? Does she find you attractive or not? If she doesn't find you attractive, she might even say that you are a creep. She might even say that you offended her. But if someone attractive says the same compliments, you'll be like, oh. If someone attractive gives her the same compliments, you'll be like, oh, that's cool. You see, human beings are hypocrites. You can't take humans seriously, man. Humans are hypocrites. They care a lot more about how they feel, what they like, other than the truth. They might choose to go against you just because they don't like you and then find excuses for going against you. I'm going against this person because this person is a liar, because this person doesn't like other people, this person is manipulative. No, you just don't like the person. I remember when this other girl left me. She said something like, I don't care about her, everything is about me, blah, 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 blah. And maybe that was true. But I was always like this. I was like this the whole time. I was like this when you loved me and you used to say good things about me. Isn't it possible that you just don't love me anymore? So you're saying I'm manipulative, self-centered. Maybe you just don't like me anymore. And that's the truth. Because no one is perfect. Humans suck. Not perfect. I know that I suck. Look, there isn't a human that is perfect. That's something that you must understand. There isn't a human that can be perfect. So if you don't like someone, you're gonna try to find excuses for hating them. Or the truth is that you just don't like them. If you really care about the truth, you need to not let your emotions get in the way. It shouldn't matter how you feel about something. You must genuinely care about what is true. That's the type of person that I feel like I've been most of my life. Person that doesn't let his emotion get in the way. Like, I care about the truth, so I'm not going to let my emotions get in the way. If someone defends me and I see that they are wrong for defending me, I'm going to tell them. Like, to me, what matters is the truth, and this word has always mattered. It is hard for me to be a hypocrite. If I choose to be a hypocrite in a situation, I'm going to feel guilty. I'm going to feel like I sinned. That is why I'm an antinatalist. I'm an antinatalist because I'm not a hypocrite. To be having children, you have to be a hypocrite. There have to be a lot of things that you're not thinking about. You shouldn't be thinking about the fact that there isn't a person that can be born after consenting to being born. You shouldn't think about that. Even though you know how important consent is. But you shouldn't be thinking about consent. Like, I just want to have a kid, and having a kid is good, it's the right thing to do. No, it isn't. But you're not going to think about that. You're like, nah, I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to think about the suffering that goes on in this world. Nah, this is what it is. I'm not going to think about the fact that there are a lot of people who don't want to be here. Nah. You see? Because you want to have kids. You're going to find every reason to have a kid. Even if it makes more sense for you to not have a kid. You see, human beings are hypocrites. If humans felt like they didn't want to have kids, they will actually say that, oh, well, we're bringing people into this world without that. Like, they will actually be saying the same things that antinatalists are saying. You know that? If humans weren't programmed, and this is funny, if human beings weren't programmed to love having kids, right? If humans were programmed to perceive having children as a burden, they would be saying the same things that antinatalists are saying, because they are hypocrites. You get what I'm saying to you? they will be saying the same things that antinatalists are saying because they don't want to have kids. So they'll find excuses to not have kids. I mean, although these excuses are actually good reasons to not have children, but that's how, like, it would just be more like an excuse because the real reason would be that they just don't want to have children. So they would just be like, oh, I don't want to have children because you will be, I don't want to bring anyone here without their consent. No, you just don't want to have children. And someone might say, well, what about you? You're an antinatalist. What if you're an antinatalist because you just don't want to have children? Like, no, that's completely not true. If I would just be child free, if it was just about me. I was already born. I don't care anymore. I was born. That cannot be reversed. It already happened. I just care about the truth. I think the truth matters at the end of the day. You know, we can't be lying to ourselves all the time just because we want something. We must care about the truth. We mustn't lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves a lot when we want something. I've seen people justify doing something that is wrong just because they want to do it. Like, they see that it is wrong, but they'll make excuses for wanting to do that thing. It's so funny, man. I've seen people justify hating someone who is a good person. They try to convince themselves that they must hate that person and they must mistreat that person. Like, what? That person has been good to you. Now you're trying to justify mistreating them? Nah, man. Human beings are just hypocrites. You can't really take people seriously, man. Unless they're real. You see, there are people who genuinely care about the truth. And if a person genuinely cares about the truth, you know they care about the truth. Because they think. They don't just care about surviving. They don't care about things going well for them. I mean, yes, everyone wants things to go well for them, but they care more about the truth. You can be in a situation where you can find yourself having a lot of money. Let me give you an example. Like, I remember this other day recently, and this has always happened to me. But this other day, I bought. Oh yeah, I was in a taxi. I was going to Toyando. I remember I told you about Toyando. It's one of the most beautiful towns, like, in South Africa. It's very beautiful. So yeah, I was going there to buy something. So I was sitting next to this Zimbabwean woman. She doesn't speak my language. She doesn't know how much it is to go to that town. So she gave me $100 and it's just $20. So I gave her a wrong change, right? I gave you the wrong change without realizing that I gave you the wrong change. And I asked her if I gave her the right change, and she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, but I was like, nah, man, I gave this lady the wrong change. So I had to check how much money I have. I had to take all my money out and counted it, and I realized that no, I gave this lady the wrong change. So I decided to give her the money back. You know, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I could have just taken the money because she wouldn't have realized that I took her money, and I could have also convinced myself that, well, I didn't really know that I gave her the wrong change. I didn't know that I robbed her. But I don't want to be a hypocrite. I knew that something was wrong, so I was like, let me check. And I realized that, yeah. And she looked broke as hell. So I'm not the type of person who will choose to be a hypocrite when it benefits me. Like, oh, I'm gonna use this money for something else. Like, this is good, this is free money. I wouldn't want something like that to happen to me. So why would I do that to someone? If you are not a hypocrite, you will deal with a lot in this world because other people are hypocrites. Like, it's hard to find a person who's truly real. You know, it's hard. It's almost impossible. If you are really intellectual, honest, man, you realize how ridiculous the whole thing is, this whole game is. Because whatever we do is not like really based on what we feel is true. It's really based on what we prefer. It's really based on what we like. I remember there's this celebrity that died like 2 years ago in South Africa. He was a very famous celebrity. People liked him. The guy was cute. He was just handsome. And people were saying good things about him. It's not like he was like a good person like that, but they were saying a lot of good things about him. They weren't even realizing that they just liked the guy. It's not like he was kind, he cared about people. Like, no. They just liked him because of how he looks. So, they're saying good things about him. See, if people don't like you, you can be a good person and even do the right things. And if they don't like you, they just don't like you. Like, it has nothing to do with how you live your life. Like, it has everything to do with whether people like you or not. And they cannot choose who to like, you see? They cannot choose who to like. If they don't like you, they don't like you. You can do good things, they still won't like you. Or just, if you are a good person, they'll just take advantage of you. Because that's what happens. You're a good person, they can take advantage of you, they'll just take advantage of you. That's how humans are. It's sad, but that's how humans are. People don't really understand how important truth is. How important it is that we are truly honest. We're not only honest if there's something that we're going to benefit from being honest. We are honest because we care about truth. We don't want to be hypocrites. It always sucks when you see people being hypocrites. Some kid shoots up at school and everyone becomes a hypocrite. Oh, that kid is a monster, that kid is a monster. But no one cared when the kid was being bullied. Like, we don't understand that villains are created. We don't understand that. Of course, it's not good to shoot up at school, but you can hurt someone so badly that they can't control how they feel. Emotions are powerful. Emotions can make you do things that you never thought you would do. If you hate someone so badly, they might actually do something bad, not because they are bad, but because of the emotions that they feel. See, you cause them to feel these emotions and they can't control these emotions. They weren't ready for this kind of emotions. Now, people don't understand what it's like to be bullied. Can you imagine getting bullied in front of everyone and no one seems to care? Everyone just laughs at you when someone is bullying you, and you have done nothing wrong. You don't deserve being bullied, but then everyone just laughs. How do you feel? How do you feel? The pain that you're going to feel is unreal, especially when you're young, because you don't really know much about psychology. You don't know why you're getting bullied, why no one seems to like you. You just think they're just bad. That, you know what I mean? You just think that they're your enemies. So you want to fight back. You want them to feel the pain that you felt. People are just hypocrites, man. That's why it's hard for me to take people seriously. You know, when people are protesting, it's hard for me to take them seriously. We're not being paid enough. We're not being paid enough. Well, you wouldn't care if you weren't being paid enough. You only care because, I mean, you wouldn't care if you saw some people on strike and were not being paid enough and you were getting paid enough. You'll actually think that those people are wrong. That you're a hypocrite. No, we're not being paid enough. But if you were in a better position, you wouldn't even care. You see someone getting arrested because, well, they abuse someone. And you say, oh, they're bad, you know, they're very bad. They deserve whatever is going to happen to them. But if someone very close to you, your brother, your sister did the same thing, you wouldn't be saying that. Fucking hypocrite. We judge, but we're hypocrites. We judge a person for doing the exact thing that you would have done in that situation. Because you're a hypocrite. It's hard for me to judge other people because of that. I know that in that situation, chances are I would have done the same thing. And what do I really mean when I say in that situation? I mean, if I experience life the way that they experience life, if I had their problems, like every problem that they have, if I was feeling the way that they were feeling, if I was limited the way that they are limited, there were some things that I was not able to understand at the time that they didn't understand. You know what I mean? I would have done the same thing, because the decisions that you make have to do with what you understand, how you feel, how you have experienced life. You see, that's how it is. When you really think about it, there are no bad people and there are no good people. We're just products of our genes, circumstances, and traditions. That's it. You can't confidently say you're a good person. No, you've just experienced life in a way that made you good, you know, but in reality you're not really a good person, because if you experience life in a way that turned you into a psycho, you will be a psycho. It's like if you were very handsome and you took credit for that. Oh, I'm handsome. I'm handsome. Yeah, I'm the reason why I'm like it. No, it's not. You're not the reason why you're handsome. You're just lucky. The right things happened and you came out handsome. That's it. So it's the same with just life, how we feel about life. It matters how life treats us, because life is not treating us the same. We do not have the same things. We weren't born in the same families. We weren't raised the same way. We didn't have the same childhood. You know what I mean? Things are different for everyone. You are the only person in the world that sees the world from your perspective, because you're the only person in the world that experienced life the way that you have experienced it. No one really sees the world the way that you see it. So no one has a right to judge someone else, because we will do exactly what they do. Like, if you experience life the way that they experience life, you would have done the same thing that they did. Or if you had their weaknesses, you would have done the same thing that they did. But also you must understand that even if you weren't going to do the same thing that they've done, if you experience life in a way that would have made you feel like doing those things, you would have done them. Like, it is not impossible. It would have never been impossible for you to become a psycho, to become a school shooter, to become a thief. It would have not been impossible. If we did some experiments and put you in a world, wipe off your memories completely, put you in another world and gave you some messed up experiences, you wouldn't be the same person that you are. But then you feel like you must judge others. Human beings are hypocrites, man. And just because we like some people doesn't mean that they're better than people that we don't like. We're just hypocrites. That's why it's hard for me to respect humans, man. How do you respect humans if you know that their opinions are based on how they feel? They're not really based on what the truth is or what they think the truth is, but they're based on how they feel. If someone you love gets arrested, you wouldn't want them to be arrested, but if you didn't love them, you'd want them to be arrested. How do we respect you? See, it has nothing to do with truth. It has nothing to do with whether you think that person has done something that is wrong. You know, there's this other guy, his name is McG. McG said that this other guy was a pedo. He was caught in one of these other shows about exposing pedophiles. Like, he was caught in that show before he became famous, and then he became famous. So yeah, McG was saying, yeah, that's the guy, man. I think I saw him in one of the episodes. He has the biggest podcast in South Africa. So that video trended, that clip trended there, where he was saying that. But then it turns out that it was not him. It was not that guy that's a pedo. The guy just looks like him, but it was not him. You know what McG did? I apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. What I did was really, really wrong, man. I've got a lot of people hating you, talking shit about you. I'm really sorry. And he said he tried to call the guy, and the guy didn't. Hanged up on him. Like, as soon as he said he was McG, the guy just hanged up on him. And His co-host said, you know, he might sue you. And McG said, yeah, he has every right to. He has every right to. What I did was really wrong. And I was like, shit, I respect this guy. Because he's honest. He knows that what he did was wrong. He's not a hypocrite. He's not going to say, but I apologize. But I apologize. Because that's how some people are. Like, I apologize if that that makes a difference. Like, if you truly are sorry, you should also accept whatever is coming. Because you know that you did something wrong. So McG was like, hey man, the guy sues me, he has every right to. Because he knew that he was wrong. I respect people like that. People who don't defend themselves just because they love themselves. Like, I gotta defend myself, even if I'm wrong, because well, I gotta, you know what I mean? It's just wrong. You've got to be honest with yourself. If you are the one who's wrong in a situation, you are the one who is wrong. You must acknowledge that you are the one who is wrong in the situation. I mean, you can't always be right. You've had to make a lot of mistakes in your life to actually realize what the right things to do were. You see, you learn from your mistakes. It's not like life comes with instructions. It's not like we had to train for life. You don't know what's gonna happen. You are improvising every day. That's how you live life. You're literally improvising because every situation is kind of new. It's not like every situation is like the same. Like every day is new. Things might happen that have happened before, but in a different way. You see? So you're constantly improvising. So of course you're gonna make mistakes. That's life. But some people don't own up to their mistakes. Some people don't accept when they're wrong. Very arrogant. So I prefer being real, man. I prefer being honest. And I love people who are real. I love people who are honest. People who try to understand themselves. Why do I love this person? You must understand why you love the person that you love. So that you will see them as they are. You don't put them on a pedestal. And if you don't like someone, you must be able to see why you don't like them. Because some people think that if they don't like someone, then that person is bad. That's why they don't like them. Oh, I don't like them because they're bad. Something tells me that that person's bad. No, you don't like them. That happens. Maybe they just look ugly to you, so you don't like them because of that. Maybe you don't like how they talk. Maybe you don't like how they walk. Maybe they remind you of someone who hurt you in the past, so you don't like them because of that. That also happens, especially if you were traumatized. If you see a person that reminds you of someone who traumatized you, you might not like that person, but not because that person is bad. That's how we are. We're animals. So guys that are black pilled, People who become internalists, these are people who are just too real for this world. No, these are people who are just too real for the world, and it's hard for them to accept the bullshit, you see. It's hard for them to accept the hypocrisy. Now, most internalist channels are just exposing the hypocrisy of this world. We realize that they're about the truth. What is the real truth? What are some of the messed up things that we're doing and don't even know that we're doing these things? You see? You have children and you force them to go to school even if they do not want to, and you think you're doing the right thing. That's hypocrisy, right? That's being a hypocrite. You want to control other people. That's being a hypocrite. I mean, you wouldn't want to be controlled. But you feel like you are right for wanting to control other people. Without understanding that people are different. And you must be able to allow other people to be themselves because, well, that's what makes the most sense to them. There isn't a person that's going to enjoy life if they're being controlled. They're not allowed to be themselves. They're not allowed to view the world the way that they view it. It's like to do anything at all, you must be a hypocrite. You know, people abusing animals are hypocrites. If a crocodile kills a person, the whole world is gonna go crazy. Like you go where they live and they attack you and you go crazy. You swim where there's crocodiles, and if they attack you, they're wrong. But if you kill them, you're not wrong. That's being a hypocrite. What makes your life better than the life of a crocodile? You see, you think you're better because you're a hypocrite. Other animals don't think you're better. That's why lions wouldn't mind attacking you. They don't see you as a god. You just see yourself as a god. You just think you're better, but they don't think you're better because you're not. That's funny. You're just an animal, just like a chicken, you know? You're just like a chicken, man. You're not more important than a chicken. See those chickens? Human beings do a lot of horrible things and they don't want to believe that they're horrible. They just tell themselves their own stories about what they're doing. God gave me the right to abuse these animals. If that's the case, then even the people who are powerful and who are manipulating you, God gave them the right to do that. Even the psychos that be killing people, God gave them the right to do that. That's why they're able to do that. You see, if you're not going to be a hypocrite, you're going to acknowledge the truth. This is really the truth. Yes, we are abusing animals. That is the truth. I shouldn't be lying to myself, telling myself stories that ain't true just because I want to justify killing these animals. No, it is wrong. And it is. There's a reason why more than 10% of antinatalists are vegan. I don't know where I get these stats. I never do my research, just be making stats up, but it seems that way because I've spoken to many antinatalists and like more than 10% of them told me that they were vegan. So yeah, that's because antinatalists are not hypocrite. Vegans, most of them are not hypocrites. I mean, some of them are hypocrites. I know that there are vegans who are hypocrites. Some people just like the lifestyle. It happens that because there's something cool about vegans. They got tattoos. Especially white vegans. They got dope tattoos. But even black vegans, those Rastafarian guys, they got swag. So you like their lifestyle. It's dope. You like it. So you become a vegan. But not because of compassion or anything like that. So when it comes to other things, you don't really see the truth. Because you didn't become vegan because you are intellectually honest and you care about the truth. You became a vegan because you like the lifestyle. I remember I had a conversation with this other guy. He's a Christian. He likes gospel. And I asked him a question. I was like, dude, if gospel sounded like rap, do you think you still love it? Don't you think that you like gospel because of how it sounds? It's not because of the message, but it has to do with how it sounds. And how it sounds actually make you love it. You see? It's not really the message, because I remember when I used to rap in church, some people actually think that I'm doing something wrong. I'll be like, that's devil's music. Like, what do you mean it's devil's music? This is rap, man. This is dope. You can't do what I do, man. This is talent. If you don't like rap, you don't like how rap sounds, it doesn't matter to you what I'm saying. You just don't like how rap sounds. If you did, you wouldn't say it's devil's music. Just a hypocrite. So how do you take people seriously if they're just hypocrites? You know that your friend who's a Christian, if they were born in a country where most people were Muslims, they will be a Muslim. How do you take them seriously? You see that they don't believe in Christianity because Christianity is true at all. They're just indoctrinated. So if they grew up in another country and indoctrinated by Muslims, they'll be a Muslim. it's hard to take people seriously when you realize that they are hypocrites, man. What I like about antinatalists is because I know. What I like about antinatalists is that I know that they care about the truth. You point out something that is true, they care. Like, yeah, but that actually makes sense. There are people who just care about the truth in this world. I remember Lawrence Anton saying something like that, and I like that. He was like, I mean, I'm not an antinatalist because like of suffering or I'm depressed or anything like that. I just realized that it actually makes a lot of sense. I can't find a counter arguments against what the antinatalist are saying. So I'm like, hey, it must be the truth. Because no matter how hard I try, I mean, the guy is intelligent. He's a philosopher. But he cannot find anything against that he can say against antinatalists. They make a lot of sense. So it's like, hey, I'm an antinatalist because it makes a whole lot of sense. I know antinatalists are not hypocrites. They just care about the truth. Yes, you might become an antinatalist because of suffering, but still, if things change in your life, would you still not be an antinatalist? Would you be like, oh, things are so good now, so I'm not an antinatalist anymore. I think every shooter is good? No. And someone might say, okay, if you experience life differently, would you, like, let's just say you enjoyed life the whole time, like since you were young, everything that went wrong went right for you, like things just worked out for you, you're good, like your life was just perfect, you're happy, would you be an antinatalist? I wouldn't be, but, and this is important, I believe that if I sat down with someone like Lawrence Anton and had a deep conversation with him, I would actually understand antinatalism. I wouldn't be like, oh, no, it's wrong. I would get it. I would know that antinatalism is true. There are antinatalists who are not vegan, but they know that, well, veganism is actually true, but they don't know how to be vegan. Maybe it's because they don't have money to afford a vegan lifestyle, whatever, but they get it. Like, okay, I should actually be a vegan. I'm going to try. You see, I'm going to try. I'll see. There've been people who actually became vegan this year who told me that they've been trying for many years to become a vegan. You have to understand that this is addictive, man. This is addictive. So if you care about the truth, even if you seem like a hypocrite, you will still acknowledge what the truth is. Just like this guy that I was telling you about, McG. He was wrong for what he said about the guy, and he might have seemed like a hypocrite, but then he apologized. He genuinely apologized. But there are some people who will defend their worldview no matter what. Like, you can show them things from different perspectives and they'll still defend their worldview. You're like, what? I've seen that a lot. You show someone the truth, you see that this person, now I've actually shown them the truth. There's no way they'll not understand that what I'm showing them is the truth, and they still don't understand you, or still act like they don't understand you. It's crazy. But that's because some people are just hypocrites. I think it's about to rain again, but at least it allowed me to make this video because As soon as Kevnet sent me that video, I was like, oh, I gotta make this video. I already uploaded a video today, but I might upload this video today, later on, or maybe tomorrow. We'll see.